Demonstration of the order management module in PrognoCIS. Within each patient's record, you can order multiple items. On your left table of contents, you'll see an option called Order Sheet. Within your order sheet, you have the ability to order lab, radiology, consults, and procedures. Each of the lists has a preferred feature, which gives you the ability to have your most commonly ordered items show first in that list. When you toggle to the All button, it will show you all of the available tests. You can also filter that by the specific vendor so that only those vendors' approved tests will appear. And we also have an order set function that gives you the ability to order multiple tests all at once. Radiology has very similar functionality. The consult section can be utilized for not only referrals to other providers, but also to provide an order for outside records. So if you are sending a medical record request to another provider, putting a consult order in the system gives you the ability to have an open order until those records come back and become attached to that particular order. So when you are planning to see a patient for their next visit, you can see quickly whether that order has been closed and those results are within the patient's document list, rather than having to surf through the document list looking to see if those are attached. You can assign a specific provider to a type of consult, or you can maintain a list of providers that are convenient to your clinic or convenient to your patients to refer to depending on the area the patient is located in or their insurance plan. The procedure area can be utilized for in-house procedures as well as external procedures. In any of these areas, you can search for a keyword and limit it to the specific types of items that are related to what you have typed in the search button. I'm going to order a lumbar epidural steroid injection to show you a little bit more of the features of specifically our procedure area. When you order the procedure, you can determine which provider is going to perform that procedure. You can also document a reason here. It will automatically pull your ICD codes from the patient's encounter. You can remove those as necessary. And you can determine whether you're going to perform that procedure now or schedule it for the future. Once you have picked all of the items that you would like to order, you hit the Create Order button to put those orders at the top of the screen. Each procedure can have a checklist tab, which gives you the ability to fill out information today as you're ordering your procedure, and then also continue to document on that procedure order in between visits. So you can order it today, put in some specific information about that particular procedure. You can include some medical necessity information or some indications for your procedure and start to build the document that would associate to your medical necessity. This information can be included in either the procedure note or into the progress note for the day that you order the procedure. You also can have a section on your checklist for a pre-authorization staff member to document their pre-authorization if that's necessary. There's also several reports within the system that give you the ability to track what has been approved and what has not been approved based on either the date that the procedure was ordered or by the date the procedure is scheduled to be conducted. Once you have saved your procedure, this information will be listed under the order section in the system. So each area of orders that you would create has a list within the CPOE menu. CPOE stands for Computerized Physician Order Entry. And so accessing any of your open orders is very simple. This is a list of all of our lab orders that are open for every patient. You can search this by multiple columns, and these columns are also configurable. So if you want to change something out, you can replace one of these columns with something different. You also, for lab and radiology, have the ability to see a list of all of the results in addition to the orders. For procedure and consults, the lists include both the orders and the completed procedures in the same list, and you can see based on the status what is the status of that particular order. So A means that it has been entered, but nothing has been sent out of the system to actually order this procedure or this consult. O means it has been faxed or printed or e-sent to a provider. And then R means that we have either records back or we have a result on a procedure. So each of these have a status, and those statuses all correspond to the specific status of that procedure. When you are going to review lab and radiology results, those get sent directly to the provider, either by fax and then attached by a staff member, or if you have a interface with the lab or radiology vendor, they will go to these little bubbles on the top right hand side of your screen. So I have 24 labs to review and 5 radiology results. Both of them function exactly the same. When you click that number, it takes you directly to the screen to review that information. When you click on a patient's name within this section, it takes you to their results. And lab results and radiology results can be captured as discrete data, such as this, where we have fields and specific information. It can also come in as a PDF document or both, depending on your particular preferences. And if it comes in as both, you can determine which of the 2 tabs pops up first for you to review within the screen. From here, you can document that your lab has been reviewed, and once you check that box, it drops off this list after you hit save. You can add comments to this particular lab. One really nice thing for providers' workflow is adding the comments to the lab or the radiology now adds it to that area in the patient's document list. So you're not only documenting in this area, you're also documenting on this result in the patient's document list. But you can also add this entire lab or radiology result directly to your next progress notes. You don't have to type those comments twice. You can also assign a task to either a staff member or to a role, which would give you the ability to send it to multiple staff members. You can mark that message urgent, which means it will pop up when they make their next click. You can send it to yourself. You can add notes to your message. You can determine if you want that to go to the patient's medical record or not. And then you can create a follow-up order for both lab and radiology, depending on what you need to do next from this result. You can also review this alternately directly in the patient's document list, so you do not have to come here to review your labs. If you're going to see the patient that day and you want to review it there, if you review it there and mark it reviewed within the patient's document list, it will also fall off this list. For consults, attaching a consult result to a consult order will mark that consult closed or resulted. And then for procedures, when you go to document your procedure, you're going to go to the procedure section of your table of contents and pull up the particular procedure that you are going to be documenting that day. So if the patient has multiple different procedures, you can come in and choose which one you want to document your results on that day. And it will mark your done date to today. It will change your procedure order to resulted once you document that procedure's results. So here is an injection template, and once you save this, documents it to today. And then you can also have your document associated with your procedure also show your procedure order. So if you have a need to send a signed order by a provider to an insurance company, both the order and the procedure result can be included in the same document so that you have both of those together. You can also have your checklist and your medical necessity information attached to your procedure. You can even attach a pre-authorization number directly to the procedure, which will then carry over into the claim to be billed. So the orders give you a really nice, tidy way to keep your medical necessity, your pre-authorization, and your procedure results all within a single order, so that anytime you need to see information for that particular procedure, you can go directly into that procedure and not have to look in multiple different areas within the system. And that has been a review of the PrognoCIS order management module.